Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and Happy New Year. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:04 p.m. Can we start off with roll call, please?
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval, and Mr. Neil Patel are not present.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have the approval of the board agenda.
Mr. Sandoval, I'd like to request that in the approval of the agenda, that we approve the agenda with 13.1, our public hearing, potential trustee area map, being held at 7 p.m., and that may occur out of numerical order.
Okay, can I please get a motion with the requested amendment?
Motion to approve as amended.
Okay, can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval, and Mr. Neil Patel are not present. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, so today on closed session, we have item 2.1, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.8 and 54956.9. We also have item 2.2, student discipline matter under Education Code 48918. Do we have any public comments regarding closed session items?
We have no public comment at this time.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn the closed session, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval, and Mr. Neil Patel are not present. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, we'll see everybody afterwards. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We'd like to reconvene back into open session. We have 2 items to report back, actually one. In closed session, the board considered student discipline matter 2021.01 and 2021.02. The board voted 5-0 to approve an expulsion for matter 2021.01 and readmission for matter 2021.02. And that's all we have to report out from closed session. Moving on to 5.1, it's approval of consent agenda items for 5.2 to 5.5. Is there any questions? If not, can I please get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Okay, a second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Moving on to 6.0, reports, information, and correspondence. Start off with 6.1 with SRTA. Is there anyone present today?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Heather Varela. I'm the SRTA Vice President. Supposed to be making that noise?
Oh,
Testing. All right. I want to start off by saying how grateful that we are to be working in a district that shows how much they care about our safety. We really appreciated getting those COVID tests for staff and students prior to going on winter break. We know that this has helped with a safer return, and it's actually become a vital resource because it's so hard to find a test now. And we were really lucky to be able to do that before going back. We also really appreciate the time and effort the district has spent on our concerns and our opinions, taking our opinions into matter with things. They really value our thoughts, and we really appreciate that. We would also like to thank them for matching our sponsored teachers in attending the new and the good teaching conferences that are upcoming. Hopefully they'll still happen. We haven't canceled them yet. And we are doing our best right now to keep our classrooms and our schools up and running. It's been difficult, a difficult start. There's a big concern over the amount of students and staff who have been out. Some of our elementary schools are averaging about 100 absences a day. And in some cases, these numbers are rising. We're seeing it in classrooms where Monday there was 2 out. Tuesday there was 4 out. Now there's 6. That's my example. Teachers are finding ways though to reach those students, get work out to them so they don't fall behind. So we're spending extra time on either packets, or we're also very thankful that they got those Chromebooks in advance, because those are becoming a vital resource for those students to receive assignments and to contact us with questions that they have. And even though they're not there in the classroom, we can message back and forth with things that they need help with. Our thoughts are with staff and students affected by COVID, and we hope that they recover soon and they're back in the classrooms. And we are hopeful that this spike will be over soon. Thank you.
Thank you for, we always appreciate the relationship we have with SRTA as well with the district. Is anybody here from CSEA or any comments that were submitted?
I have a comment from CSEA.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to you all. I would like to take this time to represent the Classified Union of Srta Chapter 503. I'm pleased to share with you our brand new board officers serving in 2022, beginning with myself, Juana Casillas, as the CSEA Chapter 503 president. I am a special education paraprofessional at Gavilan View Middle School. Our vice president, Carmen Landazuri, works as a cafeteria lead at Gavilan View Middle School. Vanessa Figueroa, our secretary, is the school clerk at Little Bear Creek Preschool. Lastly, our treasurer is Nellie Alvarez, who works as the library media technician at John Gutierrez Middle School. We're all excited to and look forward to working together this year. Thank you. And that's from Juana Casillas.
Okay. Well, thank you, CSA and Juana, for submitting your comments. We do appreciate them. Moving on to Superintendent's Cabinet. We're going to start off with Director of MOTF, Mr. Victor Sandoval.
How about now? Testing 1, 2, 3. Good. All right. Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. Today, I really want to publicly kind of thank the teachers, the administration, and the support staff during the testing of the microgrid systems, which are the solar arrays. Thank you for being patient, and I really want to thank IT for helping the maintenance department out on that. Just kind of a quick update. We've tested 4 sites so far, and 1 worked. That's not great. However, we're finding out where the pitfalls are at, and we're working closely with Generate Capital, the owners of the PPA, and we're probably going to have, a couple of options at the end of possibly next week. So I will share those with you sooner than later. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have right now, other than my Friday letter. If you have any questions.
Good evening and Happy New Year, everybody. Glad to see everybody and everybody's practicing all of our safe practices with the increase of our COVID. And I want to thank our administration team and with the leadership of Melissa, making sure that just helping everybody, Becky and HR and everybody with all of our COVID testing and just watching the team just jump at any time and being part of that is just a humbling experience. But for CNI, we're working on getting our iReady is going to present to the reflecting on these iReady results moving forward, and really appreciate that. Want to thank MOT and the IT team for working together with the TV installation at JG and GV over the break, and La Jolla is in the works right now and making sure that all hands are on deck so those teacher stations aren't directly affected the next day, that everything is a well-oiled machine for teachers to not be directly affected for their teacher stations. And we've just upgraded their kitchen, shall we say. So I appreciate that. Other than that, I have a little presentation about Solution Tree tonight, so I'll leave it to that for later.
Is there a comment on the board? No? Okay. Thank you and your staff for what you do and for your update. Next, we go to Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource, Ms. Becky Moore.
Thank you. And first, on behalf of Dr. Prather, I have some handouts for the board regarding some parent education classes that are coming up, and also the Shoes That Fit fundraiser that our district is working on. So I'll hand this to you. Since we have returned from break this week, really it began last week with the eye health tests, the reporting of COVID cases has increased drastically. At this moment, well, at 3:30 today, the active cases for positive cases for employees is 24, and for students 160. And those are reported active positive cases and do not include employees or students who we have not been able to make contact with, but who may be out sick at this time. So that could be unknown. That also does not include exposures for home quarantines and students and staff who are home quarantining because of symptoms but have not yet received test results or have opted not to take a test, but just to do the quarantine. So the numbers are high. On top of that, Melissa and I assisted with our testing clinics Monday and then again today. And to give you a snapshot of today's testing, between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., we tested 101 people. Of those, 66 were negative, 3 were invalid, and 32 were positive. So that's in addition to the numbers that I just reported. I did do a comparison to last year. And last year, Donna, we can hear you. Thank you. Last year, the data that we have, or that I looked at, was really just employees because our students were still learning at home at that time. So not all cases were reported to us. But in the months of November, December, and January combined, we had 25 total positive employee cases. So we are above that right now, just in this week. So the good news is that as we have been reaching out to these employees, Celeste, Charlotte, myself, Nurse Semmelman has spoken with some of them. We have been hearing from most of them that the symptoms are milder, that because of that vaccine, it seems like it's really lasting a few days for most people. And after that 5th day, most of them are testing negative, though we have had definitely some who are still testing positive or still having symptoms and needing to complete the full 10-day quarantine. So our team is all hands on deck, making sure that we're reaching out to employees when we first receive the reports, following up with them to check in on them, and make sure that they are testing when they are able to test, to try and get them back to work if they are ready, and at the same time encouraging them to stay home if they're not yet feeling better. So it's been a really busy time. I think I started working while I was still on vacation last week. Melissa was asking me, what are you doing online? But the tests had started to be reported, and I knew that we needed to be, paying close attention to that. So I'm very thankful for the team that we have, the work that we're doing. The employees that I speak with all seem very grateful for that personal connection that we're able to have in this district. And it's definitely our goal to continue to support our employees and our students and families in this way. So that's my report for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I want to start off saying thank you for supporting our staff, especially the teachers. I know it's a hard thing, and also thank you for getting the test. I did hear a lot of districts, they're tested and arrive in time, so you got that in the nick of time. I actually got a call from Robert Rivas's office seeing if we needed help, and I said no, our staff was able to kind of get him in time and stuff. So I know that definitely is going to help with people being able to test and kind of handle that as well. Questions or comments from the board?
Well, my question was going to be how proactive are we being or how responsive, but you answered that. So, thank you very much for all your work.
Okay. That's everybody, right? That's everybody, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now we move on to the board and the superintendent. Start off with Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. And, I want to just thank the teachers for putting all the extra work in, making sure our kids are on the right path and continue to be educated. As we know, this is not going to end shortly. So I just appreciate you guys being proactive and all the staff who's just keeping our school district going. And just want to echo President's comments about our amazing staff that was able to get those tests ahead of time. Because I know a lot of other districts were scrambling and some parents were, didn't have the same access that we did. So thank you for getting that for our families.
Ms. Elva Ariano.
Just the only thing that I have to say is to thank everybody in the district. I think Andrew said it well, and I'm just really appreciative. I think the whole board is very appreciative how everybody has gotten together, teamed up, and really supported each other. So thank you so much.
Ms. Srta.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo thanks to all of the staff, and then I wanted to let my fellow board members know Monterey County School Boards Association that I'm our rep to is meeting at the end of the month. So if there things that you would like me to bring forward to that meeting, please let me know. Things that you think would be of interest to educators across the county. And also, I feel like that particular group is incredibly responsive about creating board trainings for anything that people, bring up that they feel like members need more information about. So if there's anything that you want brought forward, just to let me know within the next 2 weeks so I can take it to the meeting. So thank you.
Okay. No, thank you for mentioning that. For myself, first, I just want to start off saying I know we're all really exhausted with COVID and stuff, but just everybody be safe. To parents or community that are watching, part of the school district being able to stay open is depending on the state, and part of it is everybody kind of staying safe and not letting those cases rise up too high, where it kind of forces the governor's hand. So hopefully everybody can kind of do their part. I was able to attend a CSBA budget webinar yesterday. CSBA is California School Board Association webinar. There's a lot of cool things that are happening through the budget. One is ADA. They had mentioned, I know that was a concern Rosa brought up as far as how ADA is being calculated. It looks like they're going to take either a 3-year average, including this year, or they're going to let you choose between taking the previous year or even the previous year to that, was our understanding. So that means they're still going to fund potentially on previous year's ADA, which is really important for the districts, especially across the nation that are struggling with ADA right now because of the absences. There was some concerns that I brought up previously as far as kinder access to bathrooms and stuff. So I was able to get a lot of feedback, and I'm going to send that information from all the teachers. Thank you. Ms. Kate Stover did a lot of homework research for me and talking to the different sites. I did forward that information to Superintendent Alderman and also to the board members. So just want to let them know that that is being looked into, and then hopefully we kind of make some progress eventually there. The other thing I wanted to mention was with the facilities committee. I know right now we're kind of spread kind of thin, but I would like to see if there's a board consensus is to have a calendar where we actually have every month, month and a half, or every 2 months, but it's put on the calendar what you guys meet on a consistent basis. And so maybe within the next couple weeks, if I know Mr. Patel's not here who serves, but maybe if you guys can all reach out. I don't know what the board feels about that. I'd like to get some feedback to see if that's something you guys would like to see where it's calendared in, where every month and a half there's a facilities committee meeting, just kind of helps keep where they're going. I don't know what the rest of the board kind of feels. You kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'd be in favor of it.
Okay, so if that's something, Ms. Alderman, that maybe to kind of work on. So I know it's everybody's very kind of thin. And I will also be attending another state budget workshop next week put on by Monterey County. Just trying to get as much information and understanding. There is a lot of funding come through, which sounds awesome. I think what we're going to be facing is the staffing shortages as far as being able to implement a lot of the stuff that they want us to see done. So that's my report. Now, Superintendent Alderman.
It's been a busy few weeks. I want to publicly thank Assistant Superintendent Becky Moore for being proactive and getting our eye health rapid antigen home test kits out. And so she was proactive and ordered those, and we had them in advance of our students and staff leaving for the holiday break. And we were able to distribute those with the next group of people's thank you, which is our site administration and our classroom teachers, who were able to very quickly, because we had a very fast turnaround on when they came in, being able to get them out that Thursday and Friday before our students left for break. And then, of course, thanking our district office team, our HR liaison, Celeste, our HR liaison, Charlotte, and our specialist, Celeste, and our front office team, Vanessa, Claudia, Marielle, and Yenny helped, as well as Amy and Blanca, being able to reach out to those families who were absent, who didn't get their test kit, and getting them. And then, of course, Dr. Prather-Smith for securing some additional tests during the break, so that we were able to help those families who had used theirs early, or their kit underwent a personal disaster, like a toddler opened it and played with it, or the dog ate it, which both of those things happened, and or our staff members who needed an additional kit because they used it early, to the extent that she made some home deliveries of kits and things like that. And so just the work of the people around us and being able to get those out meant a lot, I think, for our community, that families could just come in and say, we already used ours. You know, we had a family member visit, they were sick, we could use an extra one. And we were able to provide that when they weren't able to find them in local stores. So, and like Ms. Moore mentioned, we've had some interesting experiences ourselves, surprising staff members, with me being the person giving them their COVID test. You know, when we come out and get the next person, or helping students who are a little scared and they've got to take deep soothing breaths before they're able to administer their COVID tests. And just the amazing team, our CNAs, our Rex, our LVN, and Elizabeth Summelman, our district nurse, and the work that they do. And then knowing that this week, the surge being what it was, that we had been trained so we actually can go in and be the assistants and help rather than get in the way. And so that we had a lot going on, but just our school sites being able to accommodate us, John Gutierrez Middle School being able to just quickly shift and allow us to have their library, to have a bigger facility for testing today, was really important. We got there probably 30 minutes early and there was already a line. So that made all the difference, that we could have more stations and get people in and out and tested quickly and home safe, so they weren't out in public if they had been suffering from COVID or, you know, possible exposure out in the public. I want to encourage everybody to try to stay as safe as you can. Seeing how many people came in just not knowing, scared, worried, all of those things today kind of hit home on a different level doing that. And so just thankful for the team that we have, and people working hard to keep our PPE up, or making those orders, getting things backfilled, things like that, working with community agencies to get what our community needs. So that's what I've seen this week, and last, and over the break, and over the holidays. So I know a lot of people, and I'm grateful that our students and a lot of staff were able to go and have some downtime, but there was a lot of work still happening behind the scenes. So.
No, thank you, and thank you guys for what you guys are doing at the district office. Is there any questions or comments from the board?
I just had a quick comment. Oh, I'm glad the director of special education was able to get a lot of those positions, saw the need for that, because right now during COVID, I mean, we're seeing the benefits. And obviously to you, Becky, thank you for pushing those positions through. But I just appreciate you guys being so proactive.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to 7.1. Is there any public comments regarding non-agenda items?
Not at this time.
Okay, and any public comments regarding agenda items?
Not at this time.
Okay. So moving on to 8.1, approve resolution 22.01.01, designation of staff for submission of state and federal funding. Looks like this is Victor's item.
Yes, thank you very much. This is kind of a very minor thing, but what we need to do is we need to update state and federal agencies on the staff or the members that could actually apply for any kind of funding. And since we're outdated with two previous superintendents, I would like to recommend that we get our current superintendent, Melissa Alterman, and current assistant superintendent, Becky Moore, approved for that.
Questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Okay, second, please.
I second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Miss Ella Ariano,
Aye.
Miss Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, moving on to item 9.1, human resource. Approve MOU between SRTA and the district for the notice of retirement. Becky's item.
Thank you. Very similar to last year, the district and SRTA discussed and agreed to offer an incentive to unit members who provide an early notification of retirement to get ahead of staffing for next year. And so the agreement states that unit members who are intending to retire, if they notify us by mid-February, February 18th, they would receive a bonus of $3,000 at the end of the school year.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, second, please.
I second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alva Ariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. 9.2, approve agreement with Mind Care for impact training.
Thank you. As we are in our third school year impacted by COVID-19 and the many challenges that have come along with it, we wanted to look for ways to put some action behind our words and saying that we really care about and support our staff members. So one of the ways that we are interested in doing that is with this impact course training, which teaches improving mindfulness, practicing acceptance, change and tolerance, and it's based on cognitive science. And so it is led by a licensed social worker who works on cognitive development and being able to think through situations and be mindful in how they're approaching different situations and challenges that arise. So it's a form of professional development. And we would like to pilot this with John Gutierrez Middle School because of the specific challenges they have dealt with on top of the challenges that our other school sites have endured. And if successful, potentially continue to offer that to other school sites.
Yeah, thank you for bringing this item forward. When I read it, it seemed especially important, especially in the current times with mental health and what teachers are going through. So I'm hoping with this really is a big success that we can expand it. Questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, second, please.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alva Ariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Oh, there it is. Okay. We're at 12.1. I think I lost.
No, we're at
11.
11.1.
I figured. Where's my sheet at?
This is going to be Donna's.
Okay, yeah, there we go. 11.1. Approve the solution tree agreement for April 18th, PD Day.
Oops, there we go. I think I'm unmuted. Yes, this is my item. It's April 18th will be our professional development day for our district's teachers. And with that, we will be bringing Solution Tree. We have two presenters that will be doing some training around PLC and RTI, kind of some next steps from where we started in the summer. And as the teachers have been going through their PLC processes and trainings at their sites with each other and through the curriculum council. This is just building on that and working with that with our PD day.
Thank you for bringing this item forward. Questions or comments, board? Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Can I get a second, please?
I second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alva Ariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so for our next item, we actually have it scheduled for 7 p.m. because that's when the other presenters are going to be coming in. We are a little bit early on time.
We'll
Can
go
we-
on to 13.2
Yes.
and then do the recess if we need to.
Thirteen point two, approve CSBA board policy manual maintenance for December 2021.
So this is one of our quarterly board policy updates. They come in late December, so it's on a board agenda item for January. It went through our board policy review committee. And most of these have to do with changes in law and updating grammatical things within the items. And we aligned to current board policy for any of those that we needed to put options to keep them the same, and then updated any contacts that were required in the board items.
So Melissa did send this to us ahead of time as far as the board policy committee, and we're in agreement with all the recommendations that were made by them. So if unless the board has any questions or comments, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, and I did want to say thank you for the clarifying of the, you know, the checklist and what option and that kind of thing. I thought it was very, very helpful. So motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so at this time, just so we have some time in between the next item, which is the public hearing for the presentation regarding the trustee areas. Our presenters are coming at 7, so can I have a motion to move that we recess until 6:58?
Motion to recess until 6:58.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Alvariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, so we'll see everybody in about 17 minutes. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're coming back from our short recess. We're going to move to, sorry, I had it there, 13.1, public hearing presentation regarding the process to create trustee areas and public hearing regarding the content of by trustee area map. It is 6:58, and at this time, I would like to open up the hearing.
Shelley, are you online with us?
I am. My camera is doing something weird I've never seen before, but I am here. I'm a little concerned if I.
Will affect this.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't want anybody to.
Yep.
We had
We've got about 1 minute there if you need to try to work on that.
Well, if I'm sharing my screen, I'm just concerned about.
Our IT person mentioned might be the light behind you that's kind of maybe flashing into the camera that's causing that. Much better. Yeah.
A little bit. There's still something wrong, but
That's a little fog. Okay.
if somebody else can share, am I sharing the screen?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
So I
mean,
apologize for starting the hearing a little bit earlier. So at this time, it is now 7 p.m. And at this time, I'm going to open up the hearing for the public. And we'll begin with the presentation.
Okay, I'm going to try sharing my screen and see what happens, but are you able to see that clearly? Great. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, you don't need to see me clearly. Shall I start? Okay. This is a presentation on transitioning to electing your trustees by trustee area. This is your first meeting in which we are able to show a map. We have met with your advisory district dean commission, and they did some good work, and they have a plan to recommend to you tonight. So I'm here to report on that. What I'll do is review the district dean requirements briefly, talk about the overview of how we were thinking about drawing new trustee areas, and then go over the commission's recommendation. Now, currently, as you know, all the voters currently elect all the board members, and that's a system where you have at-large election of trustees. And we are switching to a by-district election of trustees, which means that a trustee must live in the trustee area, and only people who reside in that trustee area can vote for that trustee. When we draft maps, we have to follow state and federal laws. Your current trustees will complete their terms of office even if they don't reside in the trustee area that they are assigned to. However, once they complete their term of office, they would then only be able to run in the trustee area in which they live. In the case of the recommended plan, I believe all trustees live in a single trustee area. In other words, there are no paired trustees in the trustee areas. But if you were to choose a different plan, that situation could come up. These trustee areas will be in effect until the next census, 2030, and then you would need to reevaluate your trustee areas and perhaps change them. Okay, in terms of the process, you met twice to take public testimony on communities of interest and also to give me direction about your thoughts about communities of interest. Then the Advisory Districting Commission, which you appointed, met twice and unanimously recommended a plan for you to consider. And then you will have 2 public hearings that are after the map drawing process. So this is the first of 2 hearings. And you have information on your website for the public to follow the process if they so choose. Now, I want to briefly talk about the legal guidelines that we have to follow. Federal law, there's a couple requirements. One is that the election districts be fairly equal in population size. That's a constitutional requirement. It's called equal representation. So it's important that the trustee areas be relatively equal in population. Second is the Voting Rights Act. We don't want to divide any protected race, ethnic, language groups, for example, Latinos, but also African Americans or Asians. But we don't want to divide communities if that would inhibit their voting power. The Supreme Court made a ruling that while it's important to pay attention to protected minority groups and their ability to elect representatives of their choice, that we can't go overboard and have really oddly shaped districts in order to enhance the voting power of minority populations. Then we have state education code, which I'll go over later. State ed code suggests characteristics or factors that we should take into account when we're drawing the plans. So let's see what this means in practice. So your total population is 25,526 people as counted by the last census. You're going to have 5 trustee areas. If each area had the same population, they would have 5,105 persons, 1/5 of the total. So that's what we're aiming for, 5,105 people. But we get some leeway, and the difference between the smallest or least populous and most populous district has to be less than 510 people. So that difference between the smallest and largest district can't exceed 510 persons. When we think about the Voting Rights Act, we want to look at the ability of protected groups, such as Latinos. That's the main group in Santa Rita. They make sure that they have the ability to elect representatives of their choice. And this is just overall demographics of the district. In terms of total population, 74% of the population is Latino, 13% white, very small African American population, and 9% Asian. That drops, if we look at CVAP, it goes, which are citizens of voting age, which is what the courts look at when they evaluate plans. You are 51%, so that's a significant drop from the 74%. However, and this CVAP data is based on a survey by the Census Bureau, a really small survey. So it's an estimate. And when I look at your registered voters and actual voters, I think it's not particularly good measure in Santa Rita, because we have from the register of voters, we can take the voter rolls and look at those with Spanish surnames. And when we do that, and that's a full complement of the voters, 61% of registered voters have Spanish surnames and 58% of actual voters have Spanish surnames. So that's a little bit about the statistics that we look at when we are designing plans. And then finally, I want to just mention what the state law says that we should look at it to give consideration to topography, geography, cohesiveness, contiguity, integrity, and compactness of territory. And they single out communities of interest in the trustee areas. So those are the criteria that we need to consider, federal and state laws that we need to consider when we're drawing the plans. Here's examples of communities of interest, your school attendance areas, recognized neighborhoods, cities and unincorporated communities, areas with similar demographic characteristics or similar issues. So in terms of the plan drawing process, wanted to show a picture of the satellite version of your map. And you have large areas of rural, unpopulated or low populated areas in the east of the district and in the west and a little bit in the north. And so your main populated areas are down here in the southern part of the district. And this map gives you the population, the total population of pieces of your district. And it was suggested to me at one of the pre-map meetings by one of the board members that, oh, they thought we'd have 2 trustees from the Santa Rita area and 2 trustees from Hardin Ranch and sort of 1 from everywhere else. And that's pretty much how it has panned out. So just to remind you, 5105 is the ideal. 10,210 would be the ideal population for 2 trustee areas. And if you look at Hardin Ranch, this is Hardin Ranch area in your district, 9,638 people. So almost, not quite, but almost enough for 2 trustee areas. And if we look at the Santa Rita high density area here, that's 11,093, a little bit more than 2 trustee areas. Another area of significance is the Balsa Knolls area at 1,961, and the rest is scattered throughout the rural area of your district. So just in terms of the big picture ideas about your trustee areas, Hardin Ranch, we can expect to get 2 trustees. Santa Rita, high density area, 2 trustees. And Balsa Knolls and the surrounding area have almost enough population for 1 trustee area. And that is in fact what the plan recommended by the commission does. So this is Plan 2. I think I should probably show you the map and then we can talk about these different areas. The plan deviation overall was 8.7%. It needs to be under 10%. So that is legally sufficient. So here is Plan 2. One of the striking things here is District 5 is very large geographically. And again, that's because there's a lot of unpopulated area. The commission discussed this because one of the plans had 4 taking some of this rural area. So 5 wasn't quite so extensive, but it was thought that keeping the rural area together was a community of interest, that they were likely to have similar issues, even if they were not geographically close to one another. Their issues would be similar. So they thought that was actually a good thing to do, is to have one district that contained most of the rural area. I have more zoomed in maps, so let me do that for the Hardin Ranch areas next. So this is one trustee in Hardin Ranch. This is the Hardin Ranch area right here. Hopefully you can see my cursor there. And the dividing line is McKinnon Street and Hardin Parkway. So that seemed like a good division
for Hardin Ranch. It does leave District 3 a little small in population, but it's within the deviation. And then District 4 needed to take additional population because, as I mentioned, Hardin Ranch isn't quite enough for 2 trustee areas. So it takes some of this additional population outside the city in the more rural area. So that is trustees area 3 and 4. And then I'm going to go to, oh, here it's really zoomed in. Trustee areas 3 and 4. And then I want to talk about districts, trustee areas 1 and 2. The somewhat odd boundaries result from the fact that the block boundaries are awkward. And because it's such a high density area, some of these blocks have 1,000 people in their block. So it was somewhat challenging to divide the area, but I feel confident that this is a reasonable, or the commission also thought it was a reasonable division to make of this area. And I want to mention this one piece here. As I said, that this area is a little bit too large for just 2 trustee areas. So we need to take some population out of this area. And we ended up taking out this apartment complex that's at the corner here of the district, the northwest corner. And I'm forgetting its name now, Village Lagoon. Let me go back for a minute. It's the Village North Lagoon apartment complex at 2448 North Main Street. There's actually a sizable number of people here, and these students attend one of the schools here too, so that it actually coincides with your attendance boundaries to move this particular population. It seemed like the best option for moving people because this itself, this apartment complex being so large, is its own community of interest, and we wouldn't want to split it up. So it's sort of moving en masse with the Bolsa Knolls trustee area. Are they condominiums? Okay, thank you. Yes, good. I'm glad you're familiar with them.
La Jolla, so it's actually a good, being in Area 5, they're with other La Jolla families. So it works out in terms of what their elementary school interest.
Yes, great. Yes. Okay. I also, well, I don't know if there's more to talk about on the map, but that is, maybe go back up to zoom out on the map now. So this, and even here, this is your overall plan then. District 5 being Bolsa Knolls plus the additional rural area. District 4 taking the east side of Hardin Ranch, plus some of the rural area going up to Old Stagecoach Road, or Old Stage Road, sorry. District 3 taking the west part of Hardin Ranch, and then splitting district, the Santa Rita high density area between districts 1 and 2. So then I'll go on to this very intense table that gives a lot of statistics on the demographics of each of these proposed trustee areas. And you can see that they are, each of them are highly Latino in terms of total population. The CVAP, because the CVAP is relatively low, Some of them are above 50%, 2 are above 50%, 3 are below. But in terms of the voter data, they are all solid majorities, each trustee area. So from the voter data, Latinos would clearly have the opportunity to elect representatives of their choice. Also, just having smaller trustee areas makes it easier for people to campaign, and that tends to help the minority group members as well. And then here is the resulting populations of each trustee area. And as I said, trustee area 3 at Hardin Ranch is minus 5.6. So that's small. And the reason we did that is just because we had very nice, neat boundaries using McKinnon and Hardin Parkway. But it works out, and you're well within the 10% range. So those are the demographic data. And if you want more information or ask questions about that, you can, but I'll go on from that. And yes.
Coming in, or anybody here from the public? Any?
Hello, thank you. I loved your presentation. I'd been looking at it earlier when it went on the online, but I had a question because you had mentioned something earlier. You said that the CVAP, the citizens of voting age, were what the governments were going to look at to approve this. Because when I look at this, and then populations need to be pretty equal. When I look at zones 1 and zones 5, citizens of voting age, that zone 1 is almost half of the population of zone 5. And then in terms of actual voters, it's around a third of zone 5. Would that prove to be an issue with getting approval?
Yeah, so you actually don't need approval. You used to need approval from the Department of Justice, but you do not need approval anymore. So there will be no government overseeing of this plan. You are the main people to approve it. So it's your comfort level with it. What I meant to say really is if there's a discrimination case that is brought up in a court of law, the judges so far have ruled that the CVAP numbers are what they look at. And they have ruled that 50% plus one person is what assures that somebody can elect a representative of their choice. But so it would only be if you went into a court of law. If somebody didn't like this plan, if they wanted to oppose it, they thought it was unfair, then that might become an issue.
Okay, so thank you. Sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah, I think she was also asking as far as even populations, right? As far as the CVAC numbers, you reckon? Yeah, I think when she was saying that to be evened out, I think it's regarding total population, right? Not so much potential voting age, correct? I think that's what she was kind of asking, if they have to kind of be equally distributed as far as the CVAC numbers. Yeah, so she was asking more because you mentioned equal numbers, if the CVAC numbers have to be evenly distributed as opposed to total population. So that's what she was asking.
Oh, I see. So yeah, CVAP does not need to be at all equal or voters. The only thing that needs to be equal in population is total population. So that's the equal representation under the Constitution, is that the districts need to be equal in total population. Often there'll be one district with very few voters and another district with many voters, but their population may be equal.
Okay, no, good. I'm glad you asked. Thank you for asking questions.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that was a good question. Is there anybody else through public comments?
I have no public comment
Okay.
in the email.
Does the board have any questions or comments for the presenters today?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for their work and the committee. I was really impressed when I read through everything. I felt like they had a hard job and they did a great job with it. So thank you. And it's also nice to, that I get to be in District 1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was also going to say thank you to Superintendent Oliverman and the commissioners for kind of putting that together. I know there was a lot of work, and this is kind of a historical moment in our district to go from at large to district elections. So thank you. And as far as myself, the maps, it looks solid as far as what the goals were and making sure that the population is really divided in the community of interest. And I think it's kind of where we had kind of seen it kind of happening just based off of our experience, our knowledge of the community itself. So we do appreciate that. So since this is a hearing, we're not taking action today, unless there's any final questions or comments from anybody.
No, I can just let the public know that we'll have one more hearing. This is posted on our website. We'll get it posted over on an MCOE site. And after our board meeting tonight, we'll advertise on our social media for people to come take a review of it, because we'll hold a second public hearing in case there are additional questions. Yeah.
Shelley?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to mention that the numbering is totally random. It was just sort of as I'm doing the mapping program. So if people have opinions about the map numbers, the numbering of the trustees.
I'm a trustee one. Oh, we'll do a hat draw. Sarah's like, nope. Yeah, no, thank you. So at this time, if there's no other questions or comments, and then we're going to close up this hearing at 7:25 p.m. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Shelley.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to 14, our next regular board meeting as of now will be January 26, 2022. And then is there any future board items the board would like to see? No? Okay. And I think just what we mentioned earlier as far as the facilities and stuff. Okay. All right. At this moment, can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:25?
In honor of Mr. Patel, I'd like to make the motion to adjourn.
I second.
Yeah. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye, aye.
Ms. Alva Ariano,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Mr. Neil Patel is not present. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, and one thing, shoes that fit, we're doing a fundraiser, everybody, so please go online and donate what you can.
I did.